Oh
Well,
man, this is
hello
awful. I
and
can't.
welcome
Sorry.
to Sports by Compian. My name, of course, is Stephen Compian, and welcome to another episode of NFL preseason draft team stuff, whatever the heck these teams are up to. We try to cover it here on Sports by Compian, and I'm joined here by my co-host, the man who provides the tacos when needed. If you're out there in the world and you really need a taco, Corey probably can't get it to you, but he'll really think about it and be like, dude,
I'll
I wish that
try.
guy had a taco. Welcome, sir. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Just out here, living my best life, doing flag football things, doing gym things, just carrying the torch forward for all mankind.
What a life. It's all very exciting times. We are also joined here by two Steeler fans today. That's right, Sports by Compian fans. Not only are we bringing you Steelers coverage from Costa Rica, these guys know their team, but they also play football themselves, so you know you're getting it from guys who actually know what they're talking about. We got Carlos here. Carlos, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for the invitation. I'm happy to be here and talking all this Steelers stuff.
We're excited to have you, Carlos. It's going to be an exciting time. And of course, the returning Steelers fan, infamous for his bet, Corey, that made him some money. I forget exact amount, but it was a ballsy bet. It was a lot of money, but this man believes in his Steelers that much. Darth Frankie rejoins the pod. How are you, Frankie? He is great.
My lag is so bad right now that I can't hear shit from you. But
Hell yeah, we love that,
and I will
Frankie.
try to do my best.
We love your fucking fired up attitude. We're here for it. It's great. So we will do our best, Sports by Compian fans, as we move through this draft coverage. We got a couple things we're going to talk about here on the Sports by Compian pod. First of all, it's the Costa Rican football. That's right. The coverage is back. The Tico Ball is back in coverage here at Sports by Compian. We have live coverage of people who are out there getting the data for us, Corey, in person. That's right.
You thought that just because I left the country, we wouldn't know what's going on with Costa Rica football, but no. I still have my people in dark places.
We still have our sources.
Played in these games and can tell us how it all went down.
Yeah, we have an international correspondent.
Correspondence internationally, exactly.
Yeah.
We have agents in the field. It's a beautiful thing, Sports by Compian fans. In addition, we'll be talking about the Steelers draft class and how it'll impact the Steelers team, as well as a massive trade that took place, Corey. George Pickens to your very own Dallas Cowboys. We will be discussing this as well. Carlos already seems to have some thoughts about that. You're going to have to save your thoughts, Carlos, because that's what we're talking about last.
That's for prong three of the three-pronged attack.
Prong three. All right, here we go. First of all, Frankie, what did you think about this Tico Ball? What were your overall thoughts? And Carlos, feel free to hop in here throughout as well.
An important thing is that I didn't play. So I'm happy that I didn't get to experience that embarrassment, because that's an embarrassment. What happened there is messed up that you guys lost the way you lost, and it shouldn't have happened. And I was really annoyed. I was watching the game, and I was really annoyed. I mean, in my phone, and I was really pissed off, and I'm still a little pissed off, and I can't believe that these people lost. Yeah.
So disappointing. You've disappointed Darth Frankie.
What
do you have to say about this?
What I got to say is, we've been on a 3-year run, undefeated run.
Wow.
Yeah, we won over 30 games in a row. So I guess that has some impact in the way you train and the way you take things seriously, I guess. And I think that made us pay a little bit in the end. That's what I saw from the outside as well, because I had an injury. I broke my hand before the first game. So I played the first game with my head like that. And then I missed all the games, and then I played the final. So I wasn't like really there all the time, but we won all those games, and there was like this confidence that we ended up messing up. But I think the defense played well. We did what we had to do, but the offense scored 0 points, and you cannot win a championship with 0 points, right?
What your defense is, you need at least a field goal.
So that's what happens. So I'm going to stand up for the defense and say that we did at least we got like
So you're blaming the offense. You're saying offense, this was your fault. You're putting them under the bus. That's what you're doing.
it's a team
I'd have to
game,
agree with
but
that if it's 0 points.
yeah, it's a team game. But I mean, you expect to score at least 15 and then let the defense have their chance to do the rest. But without that, in the championship game, is going to be hard. And then we didn't have a first down in the whole first half, so I think that says a little bit of
That's a
supports
lot of
what
3 and outs,
I'm
Corey.
saying.
In case you're doing the
Yeah.
math, that's a lot of 3 and outs.
Yeah,
Which means that
And
the
then-
defense is like just right back on the field. Like your playmakers who are like maybe a little tired from that last drive where like they did some stuff and did some things. Now they're over there trying to rest. And they're like, thank God the offense is finally out there. We can catch our breath. No, just kidding. They're out already. Get back on the field. Go make another play. Let's fucking go.
To give some
Yeah.
context here, because I feel like we're talking about this like everybody knows what's going on with.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh
please set the
football, right?
stage.
So we have Steven played for the Toros many a year ago, maybe 10 years ago. Moved to the States. I played for the Toros, then I bounced around the league quite a bit. I did not play for the Toros for my last handful of years, but I was very good friends with both Frankie and Carlos, hence why they're here. We still talk on a regular basis. Kinda. Frankie hates me, but it's okay. I love him. Frankie played for the Toros up until last year when he retired. Carlos was thinking about retirement, decided to come back for one good hurrah, broke his hand, struggle bus all around, but he wanted to get this last win. I personally, my money's on Carlos comes back for one more year. He's not going out on the loss. Yeah, we all know it. We all know it.
He's already shaking his head. He's in.
Yeah, no.
So who was this team who beat you
It was
guys?
the Dogs. So the Bulldogs, they folded. They came back as the Dogs. DAWG. They were the Bulldogs previously. Now they're the Bulldogs. They had the same coach they had when they had the Bulldogs. When they were the Bulldogs, I'm sorry. So my money's on the coaching really stepped up, because I remember seeing the Bulldogs early in the season not doing very well. I knew a lot of those players because I played with them on the Pumas. They were not A1 players, championship caliber players. So now to see them beat the Toros leads me to believe they just really had some fire coaching and actually had like a really good game plan. I obviously wasn't following other than the final scores, and I wasn't there to see the games. Maybe you guys can give more insight into this, but do you think it was a coaching thing, or was it that they just had some crazy playmakers that, just beat you on one or two plays?
I do think he had a good game plan. At least in the defense, they knew where to position themselves whenever there was a formation in our offense, so they knew how to counter attack. But again, they also had one play where they had the receiver like looking to the sidelines, like with his back against no one was covering against the ball. Yeah. So and then he was looking at the edge of the sideline, and then he started running, and then they threw him because the ball to him because the corner didn't actually see him. So I guess that's part of the game plan that worked. But they didn't really score with that, or they really kicked like two half the field goals, and then we had a punt that was they lost the possession of the punt on our 8-yard line. So that's how they scored their touchdown. So they do
13-0?
Sorry?
What was the final score?
Yeah, it was 16-0. Yeah.
16-0. Okay, so this was a good old defensive slugfest for the championship.
Yeah, but the offense really didn't know how to shake off the defense. So that's why I say it's a good game plan. And then on offense, they had these two other trick plays that worked, but no big stuff. But yeah, maybe we should have come up with something like that.
On offense, they had a kicker that was nailing 50-yard field goals.
What?
Yeah.
And he nailed like all the kicks. There was one that was blocked, but the guy was nailing everything. So by the fourth quarter, it was 9-0.
What was his
and
name?
he was the MVP because of the kickers. It's number 10.
Number 10. No idea.
Yeah.
He was the MVP.
So he was the MVP.
If he was
out of the
50-yard field goals,
field goals. Yeah.
That'll do it.
Good for him.
Um,
Although, so it's like for the Toros. Although you guys, I mean, it makes it more fun. I mean, probably not for Carlos in his last game trying to get the win there, but it is more amusing for us, Carlos, that
a 30-year
there's a competitor.
win streak break is tough, though. Like 30 in a row is quite impressive.
Now you'll just get 29.
There were some guys that came out of retirement to play the game and lost, like Leo.
Oh, really?
Leo was there?
To say
no
something
way.
to me. Yeah, Leo was there.
I think there's a lot of because the team won. I don't care about if I messed up a play. I think that's happening. It doesn't happen with me because I started playing the game because I wanted to beat the guy in front. And I really started playing for a team that had no chance of winning. So really didn't matter at that point. I just kept that mentality. But I see a lot of people that messed up in the game, and then because they win, the team wins, they're like, it doesn't matter. But there's like this lack of pride, you have to have in order to be successful. That's missing. I think that's one of the key factors, because I see that, and there's a lot of pictures and photographers and stuff that wasn't really there at the beginning. So a lot of I don't know, distraction, not really focusing on the person in front.
You're kind of put on the spotlight too, like this is like they feel like this is their moment, and like big stages can intimidate some players. Rockford Ravens traveled up this past weekend up to Wisconsin Rugby Club, who has a phenomenal facility, and let me tell you, they destroyed us. They had like 26 guys on their roster, and like a couple of them were D2. And these guys were so freaking good. Their pace was so fast. We stood no chance. But it's like you said, those are the games where like your other teammates, you see them getting tested, because we were all getting tested. They were hammering our line like all day. And it's like, who's going to give up? Are you going to be the one chasing that guy who broke through the line, or are you going to be one of the dudes standing there waiting for the next play? So it's like there's a lot of that happens at this level, and not everyone's like, yeah, let me go fix these things. Most guys are like, fuck it, close enough.
Close enough. Yeah. We're in D3. It's okay.
Exactly. So it's just the separation there of the adult sports, still paying to play it and type of thing. Well, what type of mentality are you gonna have about it?
But so a big question I had is, so obviously the mentality with the Toros was very much, well, I remember my last year, this would be 2 years ago, a lot of Pumas players that were my age and looking to retire, they were like, oh, I want to get a championship. Let me go do my last year at the Toros, get my ring, and then I'm out. I think you guys kind of know who I'm talking about. But I think that was kind of the overall mentality of the league, that just all the good players would go to the Toros to get their ring, and then everyone else would just kind of be the cannon fodder. What would you say is the difference in coaching between Soler and Scott? Because obviously Scott was kind of the messiah of, Costa Rica football. He had the best game plan. He created that mentality of this is where you go to win. Like, even after he left, there was still enough good players there that everyone would still go there. Do you think that Soler carried that on sufficiently and it was just one bad game? Or do you think there is a difference in coaching, that he got out-coached by the Bulldogs guy who, in the prime, the Bulldogs did beat the Toros a few times?
Oh, yeah, a couple times. I was a part of three of the championship teams. Good times, fucking Bulldogs.
Yeah, I don't know. What I can say is that at the end of the day, the ones who make the results are the players, right? I think that this is a game that's very is centered on the quarterback, on how the quarterback plays. I believe that's very important.
You guys had Marco, right?
No, so that's the thing. We had the guy who had been second string the past couple of years. Marco wasn't playing or training, and then this person had the opportunity, and he could have done more, but I think he won. We were able to win with him, right? And then Marco came in, but he wasn't like training. He was just, pure talent. And I think the combination of the other guy not maximizing his potential, and then Marco coming in without training just because he's talented, I think that really didn't build the foundation that we needed to have a strong, passing game, and then they had the number on the running game, so then we were out of options. So I don't know if coaching could have improved that a lot more.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It really does come down to the
Potential
players
in their
and
ways.
go out there and execute.
All right,
I think
fair enough.
Yeah,
the
then their quarterback was really experienced, so
That helps too.
quarterback is important, and I think like Carlos is saying, they had a shaky situation at quarterback, but the 3 championships in which I was in, Toros was just running the ball over everybody, and the line was just destroying everybody, and we would run the same play over and over with the goal line play with 2 guards pulling, and they would just destroy everybody. Nobody could stop it, and it didn't work this final. They couldn't run the ball. I don't know which players in the Bulldogs. I think it's a big black guy. I don't know his name, but they were just stopping him. I wish you will show the highlights of the final, because they were just being tackled behind the line. Like Aaron didn't have any time to do anything. They just stopped the running game, and we're not a passing team. So that was basically it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great recap, gentlemen. We do appreciate that. The
I
Toros
believe
fall.
the Toros will rise again.
They will rise again. There's no doubt about that. But it is interesting that the Bulldogs, the Bulls, the Dogs, whatever, the rivalry is back. It's reignited. They've reared their ugly head to come back and bother the glorious Ravens.
But I will say, shout out. I'm not sure what his name is, but whoever that coach is for the Bulldogs, he came back and all of a sudden they were contenders. So shout out.
yeah,
to
but
him.
now we're mad. Yeah,
Now you're mad. Now it's
we're
a different
mad.
season.
So we were used to we're good and we were confident, but now we're good and we're mad.
Got complacent.
Love that. All right, boys. The Steelers had a draft. They picked some. They kind of picked. There was a lot of controversy that they were going to be Shador Sanders. I'm sure both of you were relieved when they didn't pick Shador Sanders in the first round. What did you think of the overall draft? What are you excited about?
You can
Frankie,
go
you
ahead,
wanna start
Frankie.
that?
Me?
Yeah.
I think it was fine. I was expecting them to sign a quarterback like everybody, but I guess we're getting Rodgers. It seems like we're still in the process of getting that done. I like the pick of a defensive tackle, but we didn't have many picks too, right? I mean, we had a third, a fourth, and to me, after the fourth, it's all a gamble. And maybe a player will turn out to be good, but not much. So it's fine. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I feel like that's fair. What do you think about Derek? Obviously, crazy story about him. As soon as he gets drafted, shortly after his mother passes, that's fucking what a well of emotions. Sorry to hear
Best
that.
day of your life and worst day of your life mixed into one.
Yeah, it's rough. That's rough. But what do you guys think of this young man?
I think he's there to be the Cam Hayward's replacement.
Yeah.
I think that he's got 1 or 2 years left on his contract, maybe 1. So I guess they want to teach him. They want him to teach him, and then there's a lot of potential there for him to be a Pro Bowler, just like Cam Hayward.
For
Take him
sure.
in the first round. You'd hope he gets at least 1 Pro Bowl.
Yeah, at least, I mean, he has the size. Now he has the mentorship, the coaching. It's up to him.
I love the Jack Sawyer pickup as well. I think a bit underrated pass rusher out of Ohio State. This is the guy I'm thinking of, right? Outside linebacker Jack Sawyer.
Yeah. I think I was watching a game and he had this forced fumble and then he took it all the way.
He kind of there was a couple times I feel like he kind of shut down Notre Dame a little bit in that national championship.
Yeah, he had 60, 70-yard run and then he was like dying.
Yeah,
no oxygen.
I remember that play. Yep.
Yeah,
he's a very good pass rusher. So that's a great find in the 4th round. There was talk he was going to be in the first couple rounds. So for him to fall to you guys in the 4th, that's
also
huge.
Great to learn from TJ Watt. You got one of the best to learn behind.
Yeah, and also the Steelers or Tomlin, I don't know who is it that likes it, but they like defensive guys from Ohio State, like Ryan Chazier. and also I don't know, I don't remember who the other guy was, but
Ohio State
yeah,
linebackers, you could do a lot worse than Ohio State defense. Really, Ohio State products in general. Big on Ohio
yeah,
State after our Emeka and Buga.
yeah, and yeah, also Will Howard. I think it's a different
Will
story
Howard is
because
also Ohio State. Yes, he is. So there
yeah,
you go, Frankie. They did get a quarterback.
yeah,
Oh yeah, they
but I
did get a
think
quarterback, but
they
it's a
like
sixth
that.
round.
Well, don't worry. Will assured us before the draft that he was the best quarterback in the draft class. So
Yeah,
Love that.
it should be fun.
yeah. I think I like the draft overall. I just really I don't know if they were planning the George Pickens thing or if it was something that just came up. But if it was something that was planned, I was hoping they would grab a receiver. But now,
Yeah, you're not wrong.
yeah, now
Yeah, that would have been nice.
we don't have the receiver and we don't have the chance to draft one, and there are only old guys out there, so it's gonna
Yeah,
be
you got DK
uh,
and who?
that's exactly what it is.
Okay, good to
DK
know.
and who?
Frankie, how
name.
confident are you that Mike Tomlin could keep the streak going and get a positive record? Do you think this is? Are you confident this will
As
still
confident
happen?
as I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not putting anything in that line. No.
No?
It's just way too weird right now. And you know what they're saying, and I think I agree. They always go all out on defense too. And where's our offense, man? Our offense kind of sucked at the end of the year, but I don't know. The defense running, stopping ability also sucked. So I understand the defensive tackle pick, but it's just also shaky, man. And we have no quarterback. And if we sign Rodgers, he'll probably show up in August. So who knows how he's going to be in September? So it's just too messy, man. I won't get involved.
But so what if it's like -2? Not like a straight 50, but what if it's like a -2 season, a -2 line? Would you take that?
You mean like 6.5? No, I think that's fine, but it won't. It will be like 8.5 probably.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think their logic is since we don't have a quarterback, then we don't need a receiver, right?
We're just
burn
gonna
the whole
run it.
thing
Fuck
down.
it.
Then
We
we
got
don't,
ourselves a
yeah.
third
we don't have
rounder.
anything.
I guess it's decent logic. So you boys are a little shaky in your confidence in your Pittsburgh Steelers going into this year. Is that correct?
Do you think
I
playoff,
am.
Yeah.
or
I don't know,
are
Charlie.
you worried about the other?
Frankie
your
doesn't think they're
division's
going to go
dangerous.
positive. So not.
You know what the thing is? I think we talked about it before, but that Ravens game was just different. The playoff game, I never seen the team so defeated against their main rival. It's the team they should know the best, man. I think, and that just crushed me. So I have no faith now. No faith.
Oh no, not the
That
dark
was
ages.
tough. That really did take the
Dark
soul of
ages
a
for
lot
the
of Steelers fans. I feel like that was rough to watch. I remember that game.
Man, who knew this would be such a doom and gloom podcast?
I
Apparently
know,
the
it's so
Steelers
sad.
are-
Let's talk about how you guys got
This is so tough.
well, hold on. You guys got a second and a third and a future third round pick for George Pickens. It's not all bad,
It's a third and a sixth.
No, I thought it was
We
the
gave
second.
him out for a box of chocolates.
No, I thought it was,
Firm handshake.
I
and
thought it was a
handshake.
second. Aren't they getting a second in next year and then a third this coming year? Shoot.
Yeah, both of them next year, I think. I don't know. It's nothing.
It's not like the most. They definitely
It's not
wanted
great.
him out of the building. The Cowboys did kind of get him for a bag of peanuts and a firm handshake.
It seemed very confusing for everybody. Like even CD Lamb wasn't super sure he wanted him in the building based off that tweet where he just kind of like the saying hi, like it. I mean, I'm excited to have him. Obviously, I think he's a great player. I think he's gonna be that answer the answer to the question we had for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I think we even lost Brandon Cooks.
He's a crash out.
He might go insane and just
If
kill
it's
everybody on the
perfectly in your team, it's gonna be funny.
It's gonna be great. There's gonna be. We're now scheduled to play the Eagles for the NFL kickoff, so it's gonna be messy right off the bat. Who doesn't love that? But
Charlie would have rather kept him, I think. Right, Charlie?
Yeah, I think so. Just because there's no other option, like we cannot draft anybody anymore, and who's out
Yes,
there
true,
we
man.
don't really know.
Oh man.
Maybe they got an undrafted free agent who's just going to be like a total stud, and they're just really confident in him.
Yeah. Last year they had like a third rounder wide receiver that he didn't even play last year. So
All right, so,
I
so
don't know.
let me pitch this in a way that is good for both parties. All right, you guys
Yeah.
ready? Are you ready for my sales tactics about how this is a good trade for everybody involved? The Cowboys, we needed a receiver too. We very proud franchise. We can't lose. We have to do big things after a down year that we just had. We needed the wide receiver too. We give him away for some very low draft picks. You guys obviously didn't love him, weren't going to re-sign him. It's the last year on his rookie contract. You already know. You're kind of thinking this is going to be a down year for you anyways. You're not even sure who's going to be throwing the ball for you. Let's get rid of him. We'll lose more games because we don't have him. We'll get a better draft pick next year, and we have more draft picks because we don't have this guy raising us up when we're trying to sink. So it might be a tank year for you guys, and it might be a middling, very Mike Tomlin type year for us. But I think both teams agreed to this, is what it seems like.
It's definitely happened, so it's been agreed upon.
Right. Like, if you guys don't know who's going to throw, you're maybe going to sign Aaron Rodgers for a year. It does seem like you're trying to sink for a year. And the Cowboys trying to fill the glory hole had to sign somebody to try to raise this year, you know?
Yeah, he did say that, Frankie. I know you're shaking your head in disbelief, but don't be in disbelief.
See you. I'm gonna disconnect right now.
Did you agree?
Exactly. He's like, you start talking about glory holes for God.
So you agreed with everything that Corey said. It was a good trade for everyone. That's it. Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to keep him, but he's also kind of a liability. So I guess it isn't that bad.
That was a good pitch, Corey. I was convinced. It really sold me. So at least you got one. 1 out of 3 is good.
There we go. That's all I needed.
All right, boys. Any last thoughts about your Steelers? Hopes, dreams, aspirations about them?
Well, I just hope we can resolve the QB situation quickly, whatever it is, and then TJ Watt, we have to keep him no matter what happens. So we have to keep him happy, and having a losing season, he's not gonna be happy. So I just hope we do right by him, and hopefully we'll get a Super Bowl together. But I don't see it happening this year or the next.
Well, maybe Mason Rudolph is about to go off, boys. You don't know.
Yeah, is Rudolph back?
Rudolph is back with the Steelers.
Oh shit, let's go.
QB1 over there right now. Let's go.
So one last question before we wrap up here. Frankie's already said bet's not a go this year. Carlos has also behind the scenes placed this same bet, but he got ambitious with it and had gone like I believe 11 or 12 wins, something like that, instead of the
11 wins.
11 wins.
Oh wow, that was ambitious.
So are you gonna go for the middling line? Are you gonna go above, or are you also out on the bet this year?
Oh no, I'm out.
You're out. That's
I'm out.
Everybody's out this year.
I'm thinking 50-50, like you were saying. I think we can do 8-8, but I'm not confident about anything over that.
I don't think it's possible to go 50-50 anymore because there's 17 games now. So it'd be 8 and 9
that's
or
9 and 8.
Yeah. Sorry,
So hey, 9 and 8 would still be the winning season. It would still be the record for Tomlin.
I think it can be done. I think it can.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if their defense is just like amazing and they just score points.
They just will it into existence.
So they don't really need the offense. That could totally happen.
Yeah, we win a lot of games that way, like scoring low scoring games, and then so maybe we'll pull that out. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, boys, before we wrap this up, there was a retirement, which I was mixed feelings on, probably mostly a little upset. Mr. Derek Carr himself has called it a career. Apparently, was it the shoulder? Something. There's some
rotator cuff, something.
Yeah. He got hurt last year with it, and I guess it's just not repairable. So it's kind of sad to see.
It seems
I
like
guess
he was slowing down. They just didn't really want to bring him back to see if he was going to be the guy. And he was like, yeah, no, I've probably done my time.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of like mutual kind of. He was like, "Ah, fuck it, dude, I'm done. I've made my money. Time to ride off into the sunset." Which, kudos to him. He'll retire as a very winning quarterback who never won a playoff game, unfortunately. But I did really love having him over there with the Saints. I will miss him. I do love to see the Saints lose. These are the things that make me happy. If the Bucks can't win, I just at least want to see the Saints lose. And that's still a decent day for me. So anyway, he's done there now. So I guess dude, the Saints quarterback group is so much fun right now. Spencer Rattler, Jake Haney, the fucking supermodel himself, and of course, who was the other? Oh, Tyler Shook. So it's like they just kind of like, besides Spencer Rattler, that dude is really hideous. But like Tyler Shook. And your boy, fucking Haney, there's some good-looking lads. So they got the looks. I hope they don't have the skill. I hope they're absolutely all terrible. And I'll just take turns throwing interceptions. That'd be great. But anyway, fuck the Saints. We're pretty much wrapped up here, boys. You guys have anything to say about Derek Carr? Sweet.
Yeah.
Sports by Compton. We're out.